What's up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the Godzilla Kong New Empire review. Spoilerific, people. Here we go. It is going on 2 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time, where we have Shin Rob Jira joining us. I'm sorry, my brother, for you staying up so late, but thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. What a surprise.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is March 28th going into March 29th, or in some people's cases, March 29th already. Like I said, Shinrob is up late, and thank you for that. Also joining us, we've got the man I've been hanging out with now for about 4 or 5 hours, Gam Z1.
Hello, everybody. Happy GXK drop day.
Seriously. Also, my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the block party, we got G73, a.k.a. Megzy, a.k.a. my brother Chase. How the hell are ya?
Greetings from Planet X.
Yeah, if only. And last but definitely not least, the person we've been waiting for because he decided to get the latest show possible. Motherfucking JR. What's going on?
I apologize in advance. I'm on my phone driving home. I'll be driving for the next 15-20 minutes, but as long as I've got connection, I'll be here to talk. And boy, I have some things to say.
Well, let's start.
Okay.
Let's start with Gams. He was the first one to see this movie today, and I want to know what did you think of the movie? Your opinions, your feels. What was it?
Okay. So getting into it. I fucking love this movie, okay? I went in with the expectation that this was going to be a dumb, fun, Showa era-esque movie, and then Godzilla fucking suplexed Kong like it was the WWE, and god damn it, I got what I wanted. I got what I was expecting, and I'm so fucking happy. Let's go. This, in terms of the monster action, this is the best Monsterverse movie. I don't give a fuck.
Love it. Love to hear it. Rob, I'm going to go to you next because I'm pretty sure you're really tired and want to go to sleep. But what was your thoughts on the movie?
I liked it. You know, I went into it expecting fun, stupid, ridiculous, and that's what I got. It's got its flaws, sure, but, you know, I mean, like, come on, man, like, it was fun. I had fun. It has its flaws. Its score is terrible. Fuck off, junkie. I'm saying that live, and you will hear me. But, I had fun. The action was cool. The humans actually felt integral to the story. There wasn't no crazy B plot going on. It was just humans, monsters, go. And I enjoyed it.
Like, the cast felt like a Jun Fukuda movie, where it's like a small cast, but like a very fleshed out and likable cast.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Even though some of these characters have been fleshed out already. But I digress. Brother Chase, your thoughts on the movie?
It gave me everything I wanted. Just a fun movie. That's exactly what I wanted. I mean, yeah, it wasn't the perfect movie, but no movie is. But I had fun with it. I was entertained from start to finish. I laughed a lot. I mean, I laughed a lot. Watching Kong drag Godzilla, trying to put him into the Hollow Earth was my favorite part of that movie, and I thought that was hilarious. And I had fun with it. I just had a good time, and that's all I cared about. Was just I've had a shitty start to 2024, and it was nice to just let loose and just have fun watching monsters be monsters and not have anything too complex to where my brain felt like it was being squeezed for its nectar. And I had a fun time. I can't wait to see it again.
All right, and now, the moment we've all been waiting for. JR, while you drive home, what was your thoughts of this movie?
Listen, I went into this the most hateful, spiteful motherfucker. I wanted this to be shit. I was like, fuck Godzilla vs. Kong, fuck Adam Wingard, he's never done anything I've liked. And I sat down in this theater in IMAX, bought the collectible bucket, the cup with my Squish Godzilla, and I'm like, I'm ready for shit. Oh my fucking god, I loved it.
Holy
Now,
What
there are
the
caveats.
fuck?
There are caveats.
Of course.
And we can get into it at a later date. If you guys want to get into it now, we can. But I have a lot of gripes. I do. Because that's what I do. But when I got up, there was some seriously parts in this movie. Like when Kong used Mini Kong and started beating the shit out of him, I lost it. I was like, this fucking movie's doing shit that I never thought I wanted.
Yes.
It
Beating a
was great.
motherfucker with another motherfucker.
And what's awesome is the wifey was looking at me having fun, and she whispers, she's like, I thought you were gonna hate this. And I'm like, I fucking love it. It's dumb. It's stupid. There's a lot of shit. I'm like, oh my god, why would you ever do that? But I'm like, I can't hate it because it's innocent. It's like innocent fun.
Bro,
You
let
know
me
what?
tell you. Fucking Godzilla's fight with Scylla was so visceral. He fucking exploded her, alright? There was monster goo everywhere.
He blew her back out.
I look at his face. Look at Ray's face. He can't believe what I'm saying. He can't believe it. Because you all do. I was like, the trailers are dumb. I talk bad shit about this movie. And there's still a few things, like I said, that I'm like, no, that's stupid. For instance, the design for Godzilla, why they did it, I'm like, they didn't utilize it enough for me. I'm like, if you're gonna go that far, fucking go. But it was good. It was fun. And I do like how they made him still the king of the motherfucking monsters. Shimu knew her place. Once that crystal was destroyed, she's like, I'm back in there. I don't want to fuck with Godzilla. I don't want to fuck with that.
Exactly. And if anything, she was grateful. She was fucking grateful because she was a victim. Just as much of a victim of Scar King's dickery as any of the other great apes under his thrall.
Yeah?
Yep.
Can I just say, I loved Scar King.
Yes.
He was a giant Nicolas Cage-like ape because the man was chewing the scenery. He was feeling himself real hard. I loved him. I thought he was going to be a nothing burger fucking ginger ape going bald. But he's cackling. He's
cackling,
enjoying himself.
yeah.
Bro's posted up on his throne. He got his dick hanging out. He's got his leg up and everything.
He's got the bitches around him.
He got the
Spartan
women, he got
kicks
the
Zuko's
dog.
parent.
He on that P. Diddy's But I love Scar King. I will
Wait.
definitely say that.
Well, what's Ray's take on it? See, I was curious, man.
I told y'all my take.
Right?
We had
Oh,
a
you
conversation already. We had a conversation. I told y'all my take.
No. You didn't have the conversation with JR. Did you like it or not?
I had the
No, I
conversation with
wasn't
every single one of y'all already. Y'all just choose to forget the conversation that I had.
This
It's not
conversation
that
never
I
takes
chose
place.
not to. It's when you came out of the movie, and I called y'all on Discord when I was going in, and I seen your face. I saw the way you were talking. I'm like, I can't tell. He's got this poker face up.
I'm good at that
Like,
shit, man.
either
It's
he loved
age.
it or he hated it. There's no in between right now.
It's age, brother. It's age. The OGs know. I go to these movies, right? These legendary movies. I go, and I gotta see them twice. First time to get it in, the second time to enjoy it. I came home after the first viewing. What does that tell you?
Oh my gosh.
I ain't like it.
You didn't like it.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Now, that being said, that being said, everything I said on the chat before leading up to this was true. The things I enjoyed about the movie, I did enjoy about the movie. But as a whole, and again, maybe this is just me, I love GVK. I love it. I love the ridiculousness of it. I love it. This didn't have that. It just didn't have it. They monsters galore, yes, check, loved it, no doubt about it. But for the love of God, this is why you can't have a movie that's just monsters and no plot, because then it doesn't make no goddamn sense, and it's stupid. And don't get me wrong, some of the shots were great, and I mean, fuck, Godzilla versus Scylla and Godzilla versus Tiamat, fantastic. But it's also 1 minute long each.
Yeah.
Each. And that's fucking bogus. You know what this movie made me realize? This movie made me realize how much I miss a Godzilla movie.
Yes. And that is my biggest criticism of this movie. And I said it coming out of the theater. I was like, so, how'd you enjoy that Kong movie featuring Godzilla?
Yes. Yes.
And that is, and I don't care what anyone says, that is a plain and simple fact. Godzilla 100% did not need to be in this movie.
Why is Godzilla getting? Why is he getting top billing? He's not even in the movie.
Can I interject with something?
Please.
Godzilla had more screen time in this movie than he did in -1.
I don't want to hear that. -1 won an Oscar. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
No, seriously,
It is not even comparable.
It's a genuine criticism, and I enjoyed Godzilla in it. Like I said, it was like they wanted to change the design, so they created a reason to change the design, and it didn't end up paying off for me. I was like, oh, so he's supercharged to never touch Star King once, other than his tail?
I was
like, I thought they had an ancient rivalry. What?
No, Godzilla fucked him up a little bit during the Rio fight.
No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't.
He hit Star King with his tail once.
He also blasted him with his atomic breath, too.
Yeah, he blasted him with his atomic breath.
The same way he blasted Kong, it was literally, they traced over the Hong Kong sequence. With Kong, it just added Scar King, because it literally was the same fucking thing. Hit him on the back and he flipped over. Stop. Let's not fucking jerk each other off.
I think what I'll interject to that is that I know you're saying like it didn't need to have Godzilla in it, but it still did, because at what point what would they have had instead?
I don't know.
You know, I still feel like in this case with me,
nobody said Godzilla didn't need to be in it, but he's not getting. Why does he need top billing? Why does he need top
I
billing?
still feel like there was a fair purpose for Godzilla to be in it, and I fairly enjoyed his screen time and what he did in the film. I didn't think that it would have been just beneficial to have just Kong in it at all.
But it's a Kong
I feel
movie.
like that it was utilized to an extent that fit just perfectly fine.
Nah, it really should have just been a Kong movie.
Yeah, it should have been a Kong
felt
movie.
like a Kong movie. Godzilla shoehorned in with a couple of fights, couple of references, and then at the end you get your shit, because Godzilla's what gets people's asses in the seats.
I would have liked this movie more. I would have liked this movie more. Hang on, hold.
It's not even
Hang on. I would have liked this movie more, honestly, if it was a direct sequel to Kong Skull Island called Kong Hollow Earth, and Godzilla was just featured in it, because that's exactly what this movie was. That's exactly what this movie was.
I don't know. I mean, you guys can just feel that way, but I mean,
it's not about feeling that way. If you look at the movie, that's exactly what it was. It was a
I'm
Kong
not bothered
story.
by it.
All of it.
If that's
Kong.
how it is, why am I not bothered by it? I enjoyed what it was.
Because you like all of these movies, dude. That's the point. Because you like all of these movies. We're not going to change your mind on that. But this is what it is.
That's the thing. You can like it. You can enjoy it. That's totally fine. All I'm saying is it's like, it felt like wasted. Like, it downplays Godzilla's presence in the movie. It shoehorns in Shimu really shoehorned in Mothra. I loved her in the movie, but damn, that was forced.
Where was
Damn,
Rodan
that
when you
was
really
forced.
needed him? Good Lord, have mercy.
No, and that's the thing.
I don't know.
No, I
It's like-
liked the explanation that Mothra was tied to the Iwi people of
No,
Hollow
I
Earth.
love
I
that
like
too.
that.
I do. It's just, stuff like that, and then focusing on Kong's journey, it's just like, I wanted to follow that more. It's almost like, I love Godzilla, but like, get him out. Kong's story's working right now. Stop going back to Godzilla.
And I'm telling you right now, I swear to God, I think I would have fucking loved this movie had it been called Kong Hollow Earth and Godzilla was
Yeah.
in it. You know? Because I'd have like, dope, see Godzilla's in, that's dope. But it's a Kong-centric movie. It's called Godzilla Kong. Or Godzilla and Kong, according to Adam Wingard. The X stands for end. And no, but it's not really a Godzilla movie. See, in GVK, the reason why I loved it so much, and that was a Kong movie too, was because we've already had Godzilla twice, right?
Yeah.
So let's build Kong up here. We got to build Kong up. We got to make him powerful. But we know what Godzilla just did in King of the Monsters, right? We know
Yeah.
that. So that's what I loved about it. Yeah, make it a Kong movie. Make it a Kong-centric movie. So when it's all said and done, the real King of the Monsters stands tall. And that's what happened. And that's all I needed.
Yeah.
And that's why I loved it. But this movie, really, it's not a Godzilla. It's a feature movie. If it was called
Yes.
Kong, Hollow Earth, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, but it's not. It's Godzilla and Kong. And honestly, they should have just said Kong and Godzilla. Because that's what it
the
is.
moments that had Godzilla in it, they are good.
They're dope.
Short and
They're
small, they
dope.
are. They're awesome. Minus a couple of stupid things. One, I'll get into it. The zero gravity,
I hated
cool
it.
in concept,
Hated it.
but
Hated
watching
it.
Godzilla float around and swim like a shark, I was like, oh, we have officially fucking gone there with Godzilla.
I hated
Yes,
it.
and I fucking loved it.
I hated
That
that.
and the suplex remind me so much of 70s Showa era that fuck you, I love it. Shut up.
The suplex I had no
love the
problem
zero
with.
gravity thing too. That was one of my favorite parts of the film. I thought that was so
Again,
entertaining to
it was-
watch.
If it was Kong, different story. But watching Godzilla do that shit, I'm like, that. And I was telling the wifey too. I got pulled back by that. I was like,
This-
movie your losing me real
This-
fucking fast.
This motherfucker has slid on his tail to drop kick a
Hey,
motherfucker.
it was funny.
Yeah, but
Godzilla
fucking
floating.
spinning around in zero gravity, jumping from rock to rock is a bit too fucking.
The
fun for
Godzilla
me.
floating in zero gravity reminded me of that Godzilla meme where he's like Sailor Mooning it through the moon. And I was like,
Yes.
oh
It
boy,
reminded
look what
me of
they've done to
Princess
my
Leia
guy.
in Last Jedi. It's like you just don't do these things.
Yeah, it
You
was so
just don't
fucking
do these
terrible.
things.
It's like, what are you
Kong-
doing? I
Kong, you go for it because it works with Kong, but with Godzilla, like that big fat motherfucker jumping around like a ballerina in zero gravity, doing spins, being pink and shit. What are we doing?
yeah, what are we
Stop
doing?
it.
We're
What are
being
we doing?
awesome. That's
No,
what we're doing.
we were being pretty fucking dumb. That's what we were doing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think JR and Ray are on their own on that one. I thought that was fucking badass.
Yeah.
I had fun with that.
As a whole, and I have to stand by this, I did really like the fucking movie. It's just shit like that where I'm like, it makes me question, and I'm like, it really kind of does feel like the original script of this movie didn't have Godzilla in it. It was Kong.
So I
And
got
I'm gonna bring that up because, I mean, let's be honest, it felt that way, and then it's like, well, we gotta have Godzilla in it. We gotta do a follow-up, and if Adam Wingard's doing this trilogy, it is what it is.
that's good.
But
So
I don't know.
So I turned to my brother, and this is what I was saying earlier. When I got home and I got on, and I was saying that the blurbs we got on Wednesday. It was Wednesday, right? After the premiere was Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, like everybody, the blurbs that were coming out and stuff. I 100% agree with those blurbs. I do. I 100% agree with. So when I say I hate the movie, I don't hate the movie. When this movie comes out, I'll buy it
So for
digitally.
us,
I'll buy. Well, listen, because there's some dumb shit in this movie that I really didn't like. But I will buy this movie on digital when it comes out because I got all the other ones, and I will buy the Steelbook 4K when it comes out because I got all the other ones. But I turned to my brother and I told my brother this because he hated the movie. I said, "Yo, bro, if we were 6 to 15 years old, we would have loved this movie." And that's the truth. We had this conversation whether it was yesterday or Tuesday, and I think it was Wednesday, where we were when that person was like, "Oh, it's a kids movie." It is.
Yeah.
It really is a kids movie. It really is a kids movie.
But like it's Showa Gamera kids movies. Because
No, it's
there's
nowhere
so much
near
monster
Gamera.
gore.
No. What do you mean monster gore? Because they're eaten? Because they're eaten?
Because monsters are getting fucking blown up into chunks.
Who?
Monsters are getting decimated. Fucking atomic breath to pieces.
You don't see it. You don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Hold on.
No, you
see
don't.
Tiamat's chunks.
You see
I
chunks,
do
but you don't
want
see
to
him getting
touch-
blown up to chunks. You just see it floating.
You
The
see
same thing
Scylla
with the
getting blown
fucking.
up.
That's the only one in the fucking whole movie.
But hear me
He's
out.
done
the only one.
Even one
Parent
would
into a
freak
lava
kids
pit.
out.
Well, here's another thing about Tiamat too. If you guys have read the Godzilla Dominion, which is the prequel comic to Godzilla vs. Kong, that's still supposedly canon.
It has to be.
Tiamat
Right?
that is Godzilla's one of his rivals, and there's an actual lengthy fight in the comic, and then this one fucking kills him in like 2 hits. I'm like, so
That's-
much for being a rival. You
No,
could
no,
have
no.
taken that motherfucker
No.
out at any point.
But me and Gam already talked about that. That's called the
Okay.
Saiyan effect. Okay, Godzilla's now a Super Saiyan Red. He's a Super Saiyan God. He just goes in, handles the business, and he takes his house. And he takes his house or her house.
But I do want to also touch on the people that are saying that this is exactly like a Showa Godzilla movie need
No.
to stop. It wasn't.
It's not.
No.
No, it wasn't.
It's not.
No, not
I
even
agree
fucking
wholeheartedly.
remotely close.
It feels more like Final Wars, and in that regard, I give to Gams because when he said that the other day, I was like, oh my god, if it's Final Wars. And honestly, it has
It
that
was.
flavor. It has that flavor. Now, it's not the barbecue sauce splattered all over the ribs, but maybe it's a little bit of salt, maybe a little bit of pepper. Maybe.
It's
To me,
like,
But
it
it's
felt
there.
like a MonsterVerse movie.
Yes,
Yo,
I
it-
agree with you there. It is a MonsterVerse movie. It's a perfect progression. It is. And don't get me wrong, there's some fucking shots in that movie where I just went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I was like, that's gorgeous, that's gorgeous, that's gorgeous.
yeah.
Kong walking in Egypt, okay?
Oh, that was great.
Oh,
You
beautiful.
read my fucking mind. That came to mind immediately.
But, I mean, look, the Junkie XL soundtrack, I'm on record saying, I didn't listen to it when it came. I didn't like it at all. I love the GVK soundtrack, but I did not like this one.
No, I hated it. I did like, and this is the thing I will say, I loved the characters. Bernie, fucking awesome.
Bernie, great.
Bernie's great. He made me laugh. He had good character. All the characters were feeding off each other. They were working with each other, except for Becca Hall. There was a couple of times where it's like, yo, she checked out in that scene. But it's whatever. It is what it is. The characters worked. I like the dentist guy, how he was playing 80s music for no reason. That was cool. I liked that. But Donkey's soundtrack, every time it came on, I wanted it to shut the fuck up. Because as much as this movie tries to be an 80s film, it's not. And it needs to stop. It
That's
just needs
just Adam Wingard's shit, though, man. He just likes adding that stuff, and I think there is definitely a place for it, and I feel like at a lot of times it does work. But I think ultimately what didn't work was just Junkie's score. I didn't have issues with the '80s music at all. I thought that was perfectly fine.
and that was-
It adds a sentimental flavor to it.
Yeah.
You know, but I just feel like Junkie's score into it is just, you know, after what he said, there's just nothing redeemable about him, and it just shows in this movie.
And you can really tell because the reused tracks, I was like, wow, you barely added anything different. And then Mothra's theme, I was like, this is bad. this is bad.
I didn't even know there was like a theme for Mothra in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
The movie's soundtrack, it just felt generic.
It didn't even feel generic. It didn't feel like anything.
It's
Just like in
background
GBK,
noise.
It was
Yeah.
fucking noise.
See, it's like you guys say that movie could have benefited without Godzilla in it, if that's how you feel. But I think that movie could have benefited with just no music like that.
No, we never said not to have Godzilla in it. I never said that. I said it would have benefited more if it was a sequel to Skull Island, the way King of the Monsters was a sequel to 2014. If they would have finally just given Kong a standalone sequel and Godzilla was featured in it, because that's what this movie was. See, GVK...
Well, then I'm just going off of you guys saying that Godzilla didn't need to be in it.
I never said that. I never said that. I never said that. I don't know where you're getting that from, because I never said that.
I did. Godzilla didn't need to be in it. You can I'll slap that on a fucking shirt and sell it. Because I don't think he needed to be in it. Kong could have held his own. Cut Shimu out, cut Godzilla out. Shimu was in it, and I said that in my prediction. Shimu was only going to be in it to give Godzilla something to do, and that's exactly what it was.
That's true.
That's how it felt to me.
That's true. Because we could have had a sequel to Kong.
But I love what they did with Shimo, because, you know, Shimo was just as much of a victim, and she was so happy, and she now has, like, a friendly relationship with Kong.
No, she don't. No, she don't. She acts like a fucking dog. I hated that at the end. I hated that he, like, scratched under her neck, and I was like, that's fucking whack. No. That thing could stomp Kong's ass out. I know, and she's like, oh, thank you for rubbing my neck. It's man's best friend, and in this case, it's Ape's best friend. I didn't like that.
Maybe that's my one gripe is I think Shimo should have died.
Wow! Shit!
I don't like that they made it a thing where it's like, oh, maybe Shimo can come back for a sequel or whatever. I feel like it should have been two.
I like Shimo. I'm a Shimo fan.
It should have been two of them dying.
Where do you stand, Rob?
I like Shimo.
Yeah,
I like Shimo too. I just didn't like that nothing happened with Shimo.
I do have one gripe with the whole Shimo thing. She's cool, and yeah, she had an adorable moment, but she was being hyped up as, oh, this is the first Titan. This is the this is the that. And you really don't get anything outside of a hieroglyphics fucking exposition. She really didn't hold too much weight there. Like Godzilla, she was just a plot device.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You could tell.
That sucks. Do not get me wrong. It sucks. I'm not a fan of it. But if this movie gets a sequel, do something with that.
Yeah, please. And that's what I mean. It felt like a Kong movie first, and then the studio was like, yo, Godzilla's got to be in it. So, like, all right, let's write him in. If I'm going to have Godzilla in this, I'm going to do him my way. Or we got to have him fight something because he's going to fucking kill Scar King in 2 seconds. And that's what I mean. They're talking about this. Godzilla had to fight this entire army of Scar King and his army, and he barely survived and he entrapped them. And then Scar King breaks out, and it's like Scar King's he's so angry at Godzilla, he's going to defeat him, and then they fucking touch each other 3 times, and that's it. Like,
let's talk about Scar King.
Not much of an interaction beyond that either.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's where I'm like, they just wrote Godzilla and Shimu in, rearranged a few things, and like gone, oh shit, we got to throw Mothra in because nobody liked Boston.
Let's talk about Scar King real quick. In the very first trailer, it was heavily implicated that there was something going on with Scar King. When you look into its eyes, you see the atomic radiation. There is something happening there. Nothing happened. He was a fucking monkey. Kong was whipping his ass left and right in this movie. Left and right.
Yeah.
It was a total subversion of what we were expecting, and I did not like that. I was pissed off about that.
Because he's not supposed to be a physical threat. That's what he has Shimo for. He's a manipulator.
Yeah,
he's
but the eyes. But that's what I'm talking about. But the eyes. When you see the eyes and you see the radiation behind it, you see a monkey with blue radiation in its eyes, and it's there. It's in the trailer. You
Yeah.
sit there and you say, yo, what is this? Is it Kongzilla? Like, what the fuck is going on here, right? We all get hyped and like, what are we gonna see here? Is this dude gonna have some kind of fucking powers? Is he gonna shoot fucking radioactive shit out of his eyeballs? It was nothing. He had a whip. He had a whip with a fucking not even a mind control device, a fucking pain device. Hey, I'm gonna hit this thing, you're gonna hear it, and you're gonna be mad and shoot ice beams. Stop. No. It was terrible. I didn't like Scar King personally. That's my thing.
They should have done more with them. I like what they were doing again when it was just Kong and him interacting and stuff, and he was sicking everyone to hunt Kong down. Like, dude, one draft revision, and I really feel like you have something with Kong and Scar King in the army, and him truly earning that King Kong, and not just calling on Godzilla because big ice lizard. And like,
I agree.
that's what one quick rewrite, and like, I would have went from loving this movie as much as I do to just being like, yo, this is like the best King Kong movie we've ever fucking had. Like, it was one rewrite away, or revision.
Well,
and
there is nothing saying you still can't feel that way.
Yeah, I still think this is probably the best King Kong movie we've ever had.
Because it is.
For sure. I just
In the Monsterverse.
I was just really hoping it would have, if they're hyping Godzilla up in the trailers, and it's like, do something with them. Oh, you did a couple of things, but all in all, it's like, all right, sell toys.
But again, it goes back to the whole thing that, and I said this yesterday too in the chat about, fuck what they're saying about this being for children. I mean, we're still kids at heart. And in that regard, it did get me. Again, I don't hate the movie. I don't. It's
you
just
were disappointed with
I
it.
was disappointed. It's not my favorite movie in the Monsterverse. And honestly,
no.
leading up to it, I was playing around. I was really just playing. Like, oh, I'm going to hate it. I really was. Because honestly, and Game could attest to this, that trailer had me open. I was like, I'm down. Let's go. But I was let down. That's all it is. And I don't hate it. And like I said, I'm still going to buy it twice. I was just... If it was a Kong movie, I would have been okay with it. And then you do Godzilla and Kong. And then you introduce Shimo. Then you do all that shit.
Yeah.
It was too fast, too furious, and you know what? I don't like those movies.
No, actually, it was part 9 where they went to space, but we're almost there. Just give it one more movie and we're in space.
I swear to God.
Aliens are far off at this point.
I swear to God.
No, they've been hinted. They were hinted at, like in Rome with that picture of Godzilla with the pizza. There's a little.
Did you see?
There's literally a fucking Planet X UFO right next to him.
But did you see it said punch, punch, punch?
It did.
Yeah, that was fucking funny.
Did you see also it had a Planet X reference?
Where?
On Bernie's computer, he had a podcast saying Planet X on the horizon.
Oh, nice. We were talking about that earlier today, me and Gams. I was so infatuated with Bernie's buttons and his jacket in general. Like, I loved it, right?
How he had a Turok Evolution patch. I caught that. I was like, that's Turok Evolution. I hate that game.
Yeah, no. Chase did post that like weeks ago.
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
Made a boo-boo.
Listen.
But the GMO patch, the GMO button on his jacket had me cracking up because that's a callback to GVK, but it's also Godzilla -1. Thumbs up.
Yeah. No, and that's... Oh, shut up, car. Sorry. I'm just trying to get in now. Ugh, I'm terrible. I know, unprofessional. Usually I have my professional setup and you guys could actually see me.
Yeah, but we're talking about the movie. Now you getting out your car. Shut up. Rob,
listen.
I'm going to go back to you real quick. Where was I? Okay, here we go. Hang on. Okay. Oh, no, I said that. The movie made me realize how much I want the Godzilla movie. Okay, I'm going to go out here and say, all right, Rob, you saw the trailers. You weren't that upset with Godzilla's new look, but let me ask you, in the context of the story, how did it make you really feel?
What, his design?
Yes.
I liked it. It really isn't offensive to me, really. It's like, I really do have to just, like, what's the word? Not reiterate. I have to basically just agree with what JR said. You went for this radical redesign of Godzilla. You gave him new dorsal fins. You thinned him up a little bit. And I kind of wish there was a little bit more to it other than he's got to run now. He's got to be quicker now. And it does feel like a bit of a cop-out, but the artist who designed him said that there's a reason for it, and just like, well, if this bombs and we don't get another one, that kind of doesn't go anywhere. But I don't know. Like, the design never really bothered me. The first trailer really gave me just icky vibes, but the second trailer kind of just hooked me in there. But I don't know. Godzilla's design was never a point of content for me because I don't know. I like weird designs for Godzilla. I love Godzilla Earth. I love Shin Godzilla. Like, I don't know. Like, it has to be something so severely detached from what makes Godzilla Godzilla for me to look at it and be like, get the fuck out of here.
I feel you. That was me with the tail.
I think that's where I stand a little bit too, because like I although the design doesn't bother me, and I really love that shot that goes a little further when he goes out of the ice and you actually see him full scale roaring on the ice bank. I do wish there was a little bit more of a like exactly that point of reasoning to why he's pink, other than he just basically fucking Dementor soul eater Tiamat's radiation and turned pink. Like he took over.
No,
Superman's...
it wasn't just absorbing Tiamat's radiation. You got to pay attention to the exposition from the Monarch people. That specific spot Tiamat chose because it gets constantly bombarded by cosmic radiation. Godzilla is literally powered up by cosmic radiation, Fantastic Four style.
You mean he's Space Godzilla now?
Yes.
Yeah. I just don't know why I had to. I mean, yeah, but the thing is with that, I mean, I got that. That was very obvious. That's not the issue I have. The issue is why it looks in the way it is. With them saying there's going to be a reason for it, there really wasn't.
Here's another reason.
Hold on. You could have made him any color. You could have made him look any way towards it. The way pink with a Thagomizer just was a total coin toss at this point. There wasn't any reason. It wasn't like because he absorbed Tiamat's radiation, he looked that way. So that's my issue. Is like with that gripe. There's just I mean, like I still have no issues with that design, but I wish there was more of an elaboration to why this happened this way, other than just the rule of cool, which ultimately wasn't necessarily the rule of cool for everyone.
It wasn't cool at all.
Listen. I can explain the thinning up, though. It's so he could fucking suplex that monkey, all right?
Hey, I ain't mad at that, but here's the deal. They said that Godzilla is powering up in preparation for World War III, right? In terms of the monster fight. But at the same time, I sit there and then they give that exposition in the Middle Earth, and I mean, not even Middle Earth, the undefined universe, where the fuck they were, where the Eewees were, and they were like, oh yeah, Godzilla put them away a long time ago. Wait, which one? Radioactive Space Godzilla or regular Godzilla? Because here's the deal. Why did he need to power up when nothing happened? The fucking Scar King was not a threat to Godzilla, and honest to God, Shima wasn't a threat to Godzilla either.
Oh no, Godzilla was, like, other than a few times Shimu threw Godzilla was mopping the floor with both of them.
Mopping the fucking floor with
and
them.
It was like literally Roman Reigns showing up, and you had two jackasses. Like, there's two jackasses, and he's like, who the fuck are you?
That was one of those that was one of those moments where I was disappointed. I was just like, so there's no reason, right, for this treasonous, stupid-looking Godzilla to be here. There's zero reason. Other than Wingard wanted to change the design. They didn't use the fucking tail, which is stupid.
I was just about to say that.
Fucking
Never
stupid.
fucking use the tail to stab him.
It's
and I'm sitting
terrible.
there, I'm like, oh shit, yo, they're hyping it up, ancient rivalry, all this shit. Godzilla's gonna stab him with that tail. Oh, Kong, of course it was Kong.
It was Shimo first. It was Shimo. Shimo froze him. So
Yeah.
basically, Kong got 2 Sub-Zero fatalities back to back. He got the original Sub-Zero fatality where he rips Mechagodzilla's head off, and then he got Sub-Zero's second fatality in Mortal Kombat 2 where you freeze him, pick him up as a brick, and drop him.
Yeah.
What? Fuck out of here with that bullshit, bro.
They
It's
did
terrible.
it twice.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Godzilla should have impaled that fucking monkey, and I would have been happy. I would have walked out of there a lot happier. But he didn't.
Hey,
He didn't even use the fucking elbow shivs. For
elbow
crying out
strike?
loud, he's got elbow shivs. He could have ran up on. He's running. I had no problem. He could have ran up on Shimo and be like, slice, sucker. Nothing. It's a retarded design to sell toys, and I ain't mad at that. I get it for the collector standpoint, but it was stupid to me. And it shall stay stupid.
Okay. It was gloriously stupid for me. I liked that movie a lot.
No, that's fine, you know. And again, I don't hate it, but I did. It just rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah, that happens when you have expectations that aren't met.
But
You know what else I liked in this movie? Mothra. Mothra was
let's
great.
talk about Mothra. I love how they just resurrected her by Gia just like putting her hands up to the Force. And all of a sudden, Mothra just rematerializes. I was asking my brother, I was like, what do you think? Are we going to get a cocoon? Or are we going to get Mothra sitting on an egg a la old school? Because I'm down with that. But no, she just was like...
Nah, it was just energy.
She brought Mothra back to life like Rey did that weird dragon thing and healed it, whatever the case. Or Kylo Ren, for instance, in the last one. But I digress. Mothra was cool, I guess.
Yeah, Mothra.
Spitting spider webs and shit. Like,
I like that she was in it doing some cool stuff. I like how they kept the King of the Monsters design. But my biggest problem with her is, like I was saying earlier, it just felt really rushed. Like, even if they went with like the original Phosphora idea, it still feels rushed. Either way.
I liked Mothra in this movie. I just feel like if it was the real Mothra, she would have joined that fight at the end with Scar King and Godzilla and Kong and all that. And she's there to help with the anti-gravity fight, and then just dips.
I agree.
So at least he doesn't die.
Yeah. Well, there's an interesting thing on that.
Doesn't die. Let's go.
You guys know, I read spoilers way before this movie came out, and there was a lot different, but there was a lot that was the same. And actually what was different is one of the original screenings showed that Mothra in the final fight was a lot more active. Like, a lot more Scar King's dudes were coming in to Brazil. And Mothra and Zuko were actually kicking ass. And it was supposed to do stuff like that.
Apparently Doug was there too.
Yeah.
Doug was a
And
fucking
what happened to
non-starter.
that 7 to 8 minutes of Doug time that Wingard said he was gonna have?
Yeah.
It's like,
He did it
it
for one
seems
part
like,
as Kong's pet dog.
That is why this movie is only a 9 out of 10 for me. Not enough Doug.
Yeah, no, that
I
was
do
upsetting.
know that in the earlier scripts, it was going to be like Godzilla and Kong against a whole army of apes, and that did not happen. Technically, it happened, but it didn't happen the way it was described, where it was like a militia against Godzilla and Kong, like swarms of them, like Predator against aliens type thing. And that's one thing I wished happened.
Let's talk about that. You just said the magic word, Predator. There you go. What was up with Kongal Schwarzenegger over here setting booby traps like a motherfucking capturing a fucking Yautja all of a sudden? Was that not crazy? Because I thoroughly enjoyed that. I can't lie.
That was so cool.
I did
that
like
was
that.
so cool. Kong is so he's full of ingenuity, and that was fucking cool as shit.
I also felt like I was watching God of War 2018.
Boy.
I got total God of War vibes for sure.
He's even got an axe. Come on now.
Thinking animal. They really played into that in this movie. I loved it.
I like
thought
that
it was
too.
Unique. It was unique. It's something we haven't seen Kong do before.
But it wasn't just Kong, it was all the apes that they did it. Hell, Godzilla and Shimo was also very intelligent. But fucking Zuko, for instance, we were talking about this earlier. When he's in the lake and he lures Kong to the lake and he's drinking, but he keeps looking over his shoulder like, oh, and then the fucking sea serpent comes up and attacks Kong. I thought it was fucking great. I love that. But
that harkens back to old Kong from the '80s with Jeff Bridges when he fights the snake in the water.
Yeah.
70s,
The
yep.
Peter Jackson King Kong game when you fight the basilisks and stuff.
And also back to the show era, King Kong escapes.
Yeah, he giant snake in the water. That was fun. It was fun.
But going back to Mothra for a second, I love how she was the one that was like, "Nah, Godzilla, get the fuck off of him. We need that monkey, all right?" Because she literally knocked him on his ass.
Yeah.
And I liked actually Gia and Godzilla looking at each other more than I liked Mothra being there.
God, I think it's like implied that Gia talked to Godzilla psychically to tell him, "We need you."
That's a big, heavy implication they were putting out there. There's a lot. They mentioned telekinesis and telepathic a lot.
They also mentioned aliens a lot, and we didn't get any of those.
Yeah. Well,
that's because that's for number 3. Hello.
But give me a stinger ending. Come on, don't just fucking jerk me around. I stood there for the end credits, and all I heard was Mothra screech, and it was stupid.
Oh, I didn't even stay. I got up and left.
Yeah, no, it was just
like,
the end credits went up, and you just heard Mothra, and I was like,
I had
really?
some asshole the whole movie next to me talking, and I was like, oh my god, for once.
So I just saw that Collider put there was nothing at the end credits, so I just dipped.
So you dipped? Yeah, it's just Mothra.
For those that are listening, there is no after credit scene, and there's also no beast mode rap during the credits. So thank God for that.
So here's the thing I wanted to bring up, because I was talking to the wifey about it, and I do feel still very strongly on this. Is it me, or did the last fight just seem like a race to the finish line?
Yes,
we gotta get through this shit as fast as possible because we're out of money.
Yeah, no, as soon as it got to Brazil, it was like over in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, that's it? Oh, God.
Because they spent all their money. They spent all their money with Godzilla doing ballerina fucking twirls and in the fucking floating in space. Get the fuck out of here. It was terrible.
Okay, but at least there was no cuts to the humans.
I would have been okay with it. The humans were great in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. To me, I like this movie better than Godzilla versus Kong. I had more fun with this, and also the characters. I thoroughly enjoyed these characters more than Alexander Skarsgård, which I'm just gonna assume Nathan died on Monarch 1, Outpost 1. He just died with all those people.
I'm also very confused as to how Mark got fucking fired as being the director of Monarch, and now we have this one bitch who is just so concerned about what Godzilla's doing. She's constantly shitting herself whenever Godzilla's on the move.
But did they actually say he got fired, or are we just assuming that?
He's gone.
Monarch has a new director.
Right, but he could have just said, "I'm retiring."
That's what I said. He probably just said, "Listen,
I don't want to go to places like that unless it's actually canon."
I wasn't actually saying he was fired. I was just saying he's gone.
Well,
he's
I'm
not
just
the
trying
director.
to elaborate so I understand where you're going.
Yeah, I was just exaggerating, and he's just gone. They never explained why he's gone.
A bigger point to this movie, plot-wise, is it didn't feel like it had a plot till Zuko showed up.
It didn't have a plot at all.
You want to know something that I think is kind of funny, is that they had more of an emphasis on Shimo's gender, and they don't even give Zuko a name in the movie. They don't call him Zuko once.
They never. Wait, whoa.
They never mentioned Shimo's gender.
They never mentioned that.
They did
at all.
I think it was once.
They did when Rebecca Hall's going through the
scripture.
The scripture. They say Scar King holds her pain.
Okay, holds her pain, and that's it. That's all it is.
So there is so it's confirmed he's female. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they say she as in Shimo and she. But what's funny is they don't even give the only name drop we actually get for Zuko is Mini Kong, which I think is hilarious. But
Hey, they named Doug, and he was in the 2 movies for 5 seconds. So
well, they
Each
didn't
one.
name Doug officially
say
Doug.
my name in the movie.
yeah, that's true.
Right.
But no, the end fight between the zero gravity and the actual Brazil, it really felt like a race to the finish, and then the movie abruptly ass ends. Like it just done. I'm like,
Yeah,
wow.
and then it's over. They don't even have closure with Godzilla and Kong at the end of it, and that's what I thought was kind of
No,
funny.
you don't even have closure with Godzilla in general. He just goes to bed. I'm like,
He just goes to sleep in another
he falls back to
Coliseum.
sleep in Rome.
that's it.
No, I don't think that was Rome. I think that was somewhere else.
No, it was Rome.
It's
It's
no, he
Rome.
falls asleep in the
In the
Coliseum again.
Coliseum, yep.
Yeah, it
There's
was
no-
like
He just saw this big bowl and he was like, if I fits, I sits.
but
You
that's
think he would go back to his Fortress of Solitude?
But that's the thing we're at with how I feel with Godzilla and the MonsterVerse is his second movie, he fought his big bad, King Ghidorah. And then he got his ass handed to him by Mechagodzilla. That got sorted out. But from here, though, what do we do? How much more powered up can we make Godzilla? What more can we honestly do? And that's what I feel like it felt
We could bring him
wasted
back.
because it's like,
We could make him look normal again.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But can we all just agree it was fucking dope that he had a spiral ray?
He had a spiral ray. That was dope.
it was. It's just wasted. It's wasted.
It is wasted.
Because it's a movie that he was haphazardly wrote. You want to compare it to a Showa era film? Let's talk Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
You know what was
okay?
wasted? You know what was wasted? The fucking Pulse. The Pulse was wasted on
God,
3
yeah.
airplanes. Stop. I was so
I
fucking
mean-
mad at that.
I mean, they
so
weren't even
fucking-
airplanes; they were just drones.
They were
You know
drones.
where
and I was
Godzilla
so
could have used a
mad.
fucking pulse when he was floating through fucking the Hollow Earth and there were fucking apes and shit. And you could have done something where like she moves on him and then all the other apes are on him and he just pulses out and Kong's like, oh shit, and just like somehow ducks behind a rock while everything gets fucked up.
Let's put it this way. I'm glad they made Godzilla fly by zero gravity instead of having him sprout wings.
True.
Oh, that was such a stupid.
I
stupid
would have really liked if they did the breath flying in the zero gravity. I'm just saying, that's
But
a
here's-
wasted opportunity.
Here's the biggest fucking problem with it is like, yeah, we've seen Godzilla fly before. It was goofy then, but now it's like Godzilla's flying in zero gravity, and I didn't take it serious back in the day, and I sure shit ain't taking it serious now, and I really just like, I don't like that. We were talking about how, not to compare to Shin Godzilla, but it's a line in Shin Godzilla, how they were talking about his genetic mutation, and if he wanted to, he could evolve wings, and we were all like, no, that's stupid. They made Godzilla actually fucking fly in this movie.
But they didn't though. They explained that this is a shift within the Earth, and it's just a gravity displacement. It's not him actually
He was still flying, dude. He was flying.
What do you want him to do? Stay stagnant?
Listen, we're
Everyone
arguing
in that
semantics.
scene
That's
was
just
moving.
arguing semantics. Whether or not he's floating around in zero gravity or flying, it's the same shit. Princess Leia flying through fucking space. We all said she was flying through fucking space. It's the same shit.
I just don't have a problem with it like you guys do. I don't see the issue with it. It's just part of the film and it had a thing that explained this is what's going to happen, so I knew what to expect. I just don't get where it's such a big deal.
It's a big deal.
just-
it's a big deal to some,
It
bro.
doesn't work.
It's a big deal for some, and it's a big deal, and it's not a big deal for others.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's like I said, Chase. I'm thoroughly on your side. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
I thought it was. I thought it was fucking thoroughly engaging, blood pulse pounding.
I'm with
I
the
loved
critics.
it.
Great shit.
I'm with the critics in
loved
this
it.
one.
Yeah, I loved it when they finally go through the Hollow Earth and Godzilla and Kong shoot through into the Hollow Earth like a shooting star.
That was dope.
Just
That
crashing like a comet.
was dope. I love that.
Yeah.
That was dope.
I will
The
say,
context of the charging scene like with Godzilla coming out of a literal crater that he made. Like, yes.
Yeah, but I didn't like
Yeah.
Kong riding Godzilla. I thought that was
Oh,
stupid.
that was. I still like.
I
I saw it in
hated
the
that
trailer.
shit.
I was like, that looks stupid. I saw it in here. I was like,
If I would have
I like
seen
it.
that in the trailer, I'm
See,
gonna be
that's
dead
another
ass
thing. I
honest
don't
with
have
you.
an issue with that either.
Well, I'm gonna
He was
tell you.
using
I'm gonna tell you.
Godzilla
I'm
as
gonna tell you
leverage to
something.
get
I'm gonna
high
tell
enough. I
you.
think
Shut
that's
up.
fine.
Shut up. I'm gonna tell you something. If I would have seen that in the trailer, I wouldn't have went to see this movie. I swear on everything.
oh yeah, it
I
was in the third
swear
trailer.
on everything. Had I seen that, had that been spoiled for me, I'd have been like, you know what? I'll wait for HBO Max. Straight up. That pissed me off. I was like, nah, that's stupid.
I
That's
will
because
say,
here's the
I
deal.
was
See,
right,
Scar
though.
King, and Shimu was so fucking big that it made sense for Scar King to ride it. And the trailers misled me. I thought Scar King was gonna be a lot bigger than Kong,
Oh,
and he's
God,
not. He's smaller.
Smaller than Kong.
He's got longer arms. That's it. So seeing Scar King ride Shimo, I was like, all right. But seeing Kong ride Godzilla, I was like, that's dumb. That is fucking
thought it was
dumb.
cool.
You can think it's
Yeah, I
cool, and
thought it
that's
was cool,
fine.
too.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna say it wasn't cool for you, but it was absolutely stupid for me. It was absolutely stupid for me. And you know what? The critics that might have enjoyed 4 other movies who slamming this one, I agree with them. There's certain things in this movie that just is dumb.
Then you're
It's
part
just
of the
dumb.
dark side, my friend.
No, I'm a part of the critics. And if
Well,
I'm a
no,
dark
no,
side, I'm a dark
it's
side. I'm wearing my
fine,
fucking
it's fine.
-1 shirt.
It's fine, Chase, because you know this is par for the course between me and Ray. You know, I hated GVK, he loved GVK. I love King of the Monsters, he hates King of the Monsters. Come on, now it's a back and forth.
Which brings us to our final and last point. Let's get to this, all right? Because I do want to
Alright.
keep this one under an hour, and we're about hitting that. And look, Rob's up. So I'm going to start with him so he can go to
I feel
sleep.
so bad for you, Rob. I'm sorry. I couldn't get it on. It was sold out.
Hey, listen. Let's wrap this up here. All right, with our very quick take, final thoughts. And I'm gonna start with Rob because it is extremely late for him. Rob, your final thoughts.
Overall, I liked it. It's very much flawed, of course. And I'm not gonna lie, I would go see a sequel. I'm curious to see how and where they could carry it from here. And I hope if and when that happens, just a smidge more thought is put into what you're writing and what you're keeping and what you're filming and what you're cutting. Because, you know, we've discussed it in and out. Mothra, she feels thumbtacked in. The whole thing with Godzilla and Scar King, zero fucking substance. And, yeah, I liked it though. I did. I'll go see it again.
Gotcha. Gams.
This movie was stupid, but in the best way possible, and I it's a fucking 9 out of 10 for me. I believe now that Adam Wingard was simply held back by the clashing ideology with Michael Dougherty for GVK, and that's why I didn't vibe with that movie. Because I vibe so much with this movie being Adam's full-on vision, and I'm with it. I hope that Adam gets to make his trilogy. I hope to see more wacky zaniness. Please, Adam, if you ever, for some reason, see this podcast, make him do the sliding drop kick. For fuck's sake, just do it.
Brother Chase.
I went into this movie scotch-free and had a blast with it. It was exactly what I wanted. It was just a fun film. Sure, there are things about it I don't favor, but I don't hate this movie in the slightest, to the point where it's either my number 1 or number 2 in the Monsterverse. I had a blast with it, and I can't wait to see it again. It was like a sugar rush, but with monsters. I really hope that for a movie that had a $135 million budget before its marketing, that or $135 million budget for its marketing, that it does well enough to see where this goes. And I feel like if it does get that chance, they'll get the time to actually take a full time with it and handle it well. And I fully have no qualms with this. And if Wingard gets another chance at it, I'm on board. I had fun with it.
Perfect. JR.
Look, that first initial trailer, you guys heard me. You go back to the podcast. I said I'm gonna fucking hate this movie. Every time we talk about it, I'm gonna fucking hate this movie. And I walked out and I was like, you know what? I really fucking like that movie. It's got its problems. And I've listed those fucking problems. Is this where I wanted the Monsterverse to go? Fuck no. Fuck no. It went off the deep end. But it didn't insult me. It didn't go so far off the deep end where I feel like I'm stupid for liking it. I liked it. I dare say I loved it. Very fucking flawed. I cautiously optimistic to see where it goes from here because, like I was saying earlier, I don't know where else you could go because it seems like everything you throw at Godzilla, he just annihilates in 1 minute, which is fine, but, you know, can't carry a franchise with that. All in all, I'm sure we'll talk about this movie maybe with another podcast. I'm down. More spoilers. I'm down, dude. I'm so down. Anyways.
I mean, we're still doing the book review, right? With
Oh,
the
yeah, we should
novelization
fuck
coming
off.
out?
We are.
So, I definitely would give it a 3 out of 5. I do recommend it. Do see it in IMAX. It's a lot of fun in IMAX. See it on a big screen. Would I warrant a second viewing? Not necessarily. I feel like I personally, if I had some extra time, I would. But for the average viewer, I'd see it once and then call it a day.
Yeah, I saw it in D-Box, and I highly recommend at least seeing it in D-Box. That was fun.
But yeah, 3 out
Or
of 5
if you're
for
in
sure.
a small town like me and only have one dinky theater, still watch it in that one dinky theater.
The movie ended, and my brother looks me right in the eye, and he goes like this. So which one is better? King of the Monsters or New Empire? And that'll do it for this episode of the Godzilla Block Party, ladies and gentlemen. I am G1. I want to thank my entire panel here. Rob, thank you for hanging out and staying up so late.
Thank you for having me. As always, it's a pleasure and a joy.
Thank you, Gams. Thank you for being here. Being with me for like 7 hours.
Thanks for shooting the shit with me for a few hours before this.
Yeah, for real. Brother Chase, thank you for joining us.
Chase signing off from Planet X.
And Brother J.O., of course, thank you for joining us.
Legendary, have the balls to just make a Kong movie again. It's okay.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I am G1, and King of the Monsters is better.